Welcome to the AI Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Every day, I break down AI news, interview guests, and explain the implications of AI in your life and business. I need to ask you for a big favor. Believe it or not, we have around 92,000 people that listen to this podcast every month, which is absolutely amazing. But when you go to our Apple Podcast or Spotify pages, we only have around 110 reviews total. If you could do me a massive favor and give this podcast a review, I would be super, super grateful. Every time I contact an incredible founder or CEO in AI, they look at the podcast, they look at how many reviews I have, and that helps me to get better guests on the show. So if you could do a huge favor to myself and also yourself, go to the Apple Podcast or the Spotify page, wherever you listen to this, and give a review of the show. If you've noticed lately, I've been doing interviews with some really phenomenal CEOs. I have some more amazing ones coming up in the coming weeks with some CEOs that have raised hundreds of millions of dollars for their AI startups. I want to bring these to you and I want to get more of those. So please drop a review, go to your wife's account, go to your husband's account, go to your kid's account and leave a review. I don't care. Help us get more reviews, and I promise I will help bring some amazing AI entrepreneurs and guests onto the show. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. We know that the world of AI and tech can be very cutthroat, and today I'm bringing you some news of a juicy new battle that is happening between Meta and OpenAI. Essentially, Meta is challenging OpenAI and kind of sabotaging it with a open source code generating AI, which is code Llama. So today on the podcast, we're going to be diving into what is happening here, what I expect will happen in the future with this, and the implications for the industry. So I think in the rapidly evolving landscape of AI-driven coding tools, Meta is really gearing up to unveil a massive software update that essentially autonomously generates programming code, right? Similar to something you would try to get ChatGPT-4 to do, which it is capable of. And it's, a lot of people are actually paying the premium price for GPT-4, ChatGPT Premium, to actually get these capabilities of having it able to generate code. So this move places Meta on a collision course with the powerhouse OpenAI and Google, right? Both of these players are looking at this space, and now it looks like Meta is coming into the space as well. The new offering is called Code Llama, and it's projected to debut at an open source alternative. So it's essentially going to be an open source alternative to what we currently have. Insiders have hinted at a possible launch within the upcoming week, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for this. And this is recently detailed in a report by The Information. So such a launch strategically positions Code Llama to rival the prowess of OpenAI's celebrated Codex model. And I think that, today is really a new dawn for AI development. What we're seeing in the industry today, drawing from the foundation of, Meta's rather well-regarded Llama 2 software, Code Llama essentially is emerging as the next step in AI's evolution. So Llama 2, with its capabilities in understanding and generating conversational text, has already set a pretty solid precedent. Its open source nature has enabled businesses to develop AI applications, breaking free from the, you could call it the constraints of premium offerings. We have people like OpenAI, Google, Microsoft that all are spearheading those. And Meta's latest venture now, Code Llama, is set to, I think, really further disrupt the AI paradigm. So the tool is designed to facilitate the development of AI assistants that offer real-time coding suggestions to developers. And this enhancement in coding productivity might potentially shift users away from paid tools such as Microsoft's GitHub Copilot, which leverages OpenAI's Codex for its operations. And I think it might directly cut into Microsoft's profits, into OpenAI's profits, and others. And this is, again, an open source project. So arguably anyone could use it for free, depending on the licensing they come up with here. But let's do a little bit of a deep dive into Meta's AI ambitions. So I think Meta's interests span far beyond its, colossal social media footprint, right? They got Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp, and they're really kind of excelling there. But we have seen them make a lot of moves in the AI space, and I think a big part of this is they want to release a lot of research, they want to release a lot of open source projects. It's not really tied directly to their revenue, so they put these things out there so they can keep top talent from AI firms on there, so that they can develop some really incredible AI solutions. I think the company has consistently been at the forefront of cutting-edge AI research and initiatives. And this is obviously a testament with the unveiling of Llama, which is an AI model in February, which essentially exhibited capabilities on par with OpenAI's GPT-3 at the time. Now, of course, we've moved a little further down the line, but I think it's worth highlighting that Llama's open source nature is leading to the birth of enhanced open source language models like Alpaca and Vukaina. And really building on this momentum, in July, we saw Meta roll out an improved version, which was Llama 2, and it was designed with a commercial license for business needs, which is really nice because the first version didn't have that commercial license, and so it was kind of, essentially would have been a dud. But if we're kind of looking at what Meta has to do here, this isn't exactly an easy task, because really they're straddling innovation and revenue, right? Because right now, Meta's, notoriously losing money for their metaverse play that they, maybe they'll be successful, but they really have tried. They purchased Oculus. They spent billions and billions of dollars building out a metaverse, which has very few users in it. And so I think all things considered, Meta definitely has to watch where they're spending money. And so I think it is interesting that they're doing a lot of these open source and AI plays that are not directly contributing to their bottom line. And so I'm curious to see what investors are thinking about this. But I will say one thing it is definitely doing is giving them it's buying them a lot of goodwill in the open source and also the AI community for coming out with this. So for Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, AI investments, I think, are top of mind. He shared his enthusiasm in June, saying, quote, "We continue to see strong engagement across our apps, and we have the most exciting roadmap I've seen in a while with Llama 2, Threads, Reels, new AI products in the pipeline, and the launch of Quest 3 this fall." So obviously Mark Zuckerberg's very optimistic about the products that they have coming out, and he literally outlines Llama 2 as one of the big products of the year, one of the big things they're focusing on and they're excited about. So I think despite, the emphasis on efficiency, AI and virtual reality endeavors have racked up a lot of expenses for Meta. The company revealed that 2023's total expenses might hover between $88 billion to $91 billion, which definitely exceeded initial estimates. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see where exactly this goes and how much of profit this is going to eat into. And more importantly, how Zuckerberg plans on monetizing these AI initiatives in the future, or if he does, right? This is going to be a big area a lot of people are following. So this is definitely something we will keep you updated and dive into more in the future.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. That's the sound of switching your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling. Harness the best converting checkout and same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Stop leaving sales on the table. Discover why millions trust Shopify to build, grow, and run their business. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech23.
First, the bad news. SAP Business AI won't help you generate cubist versions of your family's holiday photos. But it will help you understand which supplier is best to help you roll out your plant-based packaging in Southeast Asia, or identify the training your junior project manager needs to rise up the ranks, and automate repetitive tasks while you focus on big innovations, so you can be ready for the next opportunity. Revolutionary technology, real-world results. That's SAP Business AI.
Thank you for listening to the AI Chat Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate me wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure you check out our Discord channel and also our Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast, where we can actually share software tools, prompts that we're using in everyday AI. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.